So now that I'm out of debt, $35,000 in 9 months, I am working on building my 6 months emergency fund. And I will not lie, I feel a little bit slower. When I was paying off debt, I had this huge intensity in my body, like run, get rid of it, be done with it. So I did. My initial goal was 12 months. I paid it off in 9 months. But now with my emergency fund, I feel like I don't have the same fire, and that bothers me. It bothers me because I know how just, if not more important, it is to have an emergency fund. Because that emergency fund is going to prevent me from ever needing to take that credit card and use it again, because I truly don't want to. So here's what I have discovered. I've discovered that chopping up let's say your goal is to have a 6 months emergency fund. Instead of having an idea of, I need 6 months of an emergency fund, whatever the number is for you, for me it's $18,000 to cover all my basic expenses each month for 6 months. Instead of aiming for 6 months, I'm aiming at 3 months first. And then the other 3 months, if that makes sense. Because then I feel the little accomplishments instead of just aiming at the big number and then dragging out, right? Or if your goal is to have a 3-month emergency fund, first aim at 1 month. When you're done with the 1 month, aim for the second month, and so on. It'll give you kind of little pockets of accomplishments and feeling of like you did something. And that is, I need that. Anyway, that being said, it is still not as exciting as paying off debt, although paying off debt is much more painful. Building your emergency fund is at first wow, because you're now taking a chunk of money and paying yourself, which is a wonderful feeling, but it soon gets old. But what I'm trying to accomplish with this video is remind you, because I need to remind myself, that it is one of the most important steps on your finance debt payoff in the financial journey, so to speak, because it will prevent you from ever going back to debt. And that is so important. So this is going to be a quick video. Just remember, if you are working on your emergency fund, remember it's normal to feel a little sluggish because you just came out of a intense marathon. And stick to it. Remember, a lot of things can happen in a year or in a few months, and the time will go by anyway. So stick to it, add into it, and you can do it. You can do it. And then just remember, at the end of it, there's a whole new life where you don't have to be so intense, but you just be intentional and start investing and start building, start growing and building, not just fixing. That's the moral of the story. Start building. When you're done with debt, when you're done with your emergency fund, you become intentional and you start building and growing. You're done with fixing and patching up and feeling broken. Wow. This is why I love YouTube. I sit here to talk to you, to remind you of something, but then I remind myself of something. And this lesson I really needed. Anyway, thanks for listening to this rant. I hope this inspires you if you're on the same journey as me to become financially free. I wish you all the best. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.